Here we are. Welcome to Balcony Banter. It's the first Wednesday of the month. Unbelievable. So thank you all for tuning in. And we're going to see who we have. Who do we have? I'm very happy you made it all over here again to my channel. Thank you very much. Balcony Banter is such a great opportunity every Wednesday to come together. And we celebrate our community, and and we celebrate you having your own little discussion in the chat and with our topic, of course. So we would like you to engage also today in our great topic we have prepared for you. And not only it's a topic that we also have wonderful guests. We have a repeating guest from the United States. And she has been on quite a lot of times already. It's already the third time she's here with us. And we're happy to have her back. So let's see who we all have here with us tonight. And we have David Butler was the first one. David and Anne-Marie. It's Craig. Craig says hello. Ian Miller we got. Ian Miller from Dundee, not only from Dundee, in the chat, but also live here on stage. Craig again, David Duntruckin, Pete and Shelley, and Jeff Daniels, Duntruckin, Juliane and Nendel. Well, better be, and Jeff Daniels again, and who else? Neil Davidson. Hello, long time no see. Julie Wade. Julie, wait a minute. Julie, wait a minute. So you're all coming in. I don't know exactly how many we've got already on, but I'm very happy. I can see it now. 21, it says. So I'm very happy you all made it over to my channel. As I said, the first Wednesday of the month, quite a while back, we have decided to put it over to my channel and split it a little bit up. And I'm happy that that works out so well with you all here. So today, I just wanted to go round the table. As you can see, I'm not on the balcony. We only have two real balconistas today. So how is everybody doing? Shall I start with Ian, my friend in the middle? Ian,
very well, thank you. Very well. It's been a busy week.
A busy week.
Yes, very busy week. Don't know where all the time has gone this week. Went shopping today. Sorry, I got dragged shopping today.
Dragged shopping by who?
Need you guess who?
By Miss B.
Yes, yes, I did. No, it was a girls' shopping outlet, so I got dragged along as well. But I was just carrying the bags, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, you did your work. You did your work and made everybody happy, I guess.
Yeah, well, I managed to carry the bags home just.
And what else? How are the flowers in the garden coming along?
I don't have much flowers this year. It's all vegetables, and the rain the last couple of days has really set them going. It's much better than watering them with a hose. When you get a couple of heavy showers of rain, it does the world of good, and they're all looking lovely and green and fresh.
We are still praying here, but it's very dry.
All right. Oh, well.
Yeah, it's very dry here, isn't it? Yeah, so good. Well, glad to have you on again. I'm happy to see you every Wednesday. Good that you're good. Good that you're good. And how are you, Chris? Wait, I put you on the screen.
I'm great. We just went in a super shop. And you wouldn't believe in what time I bought 2 pairs of shoes and 2 t-shirts.
What time limit did you have?
Pardon?
What time limit did you have, and in what time did you buy it?
It might have been like 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
With Tim's help, of course.
And are you happy with your purchase?
Yeah,
Yeah?
really happy.
Summer stuff. Summer things. So are we going to see them next time on Balcony Banter?
Definitely.
Good. You're having
I
a little
got
fashion show.
two pairs of shoes that are the same.
Yeah.
So they be good for 2 years now.
Good for 2 years. For all your dancing you're doing.
Yeah.
Great. And what else?
Today I talked to my daughter and to my granddaughter.
Our daughter,
I
our granddaughter.
genau.
Now it's Tim who is correcting you.
And she is kind of cheeky at the moment. She said this morning, I don't want to come to Tenerife. Mom, you go alone.
No.
And she doesn't want to talk to Grandad anymore. I think she's just joking.
It's just joking.
Exactly. I'm sure she's gonna love it when she comes out.
I hope so.
And Timmy, baby, what you've been up to apart from shopping till you
Apart from shopping, no, we did a great shop today. We went to what was that place called? It used to be called Tenerife Sur, I think, or something like that. It's called Ex Sur now. What was it called before?
Grand Sur.
Grand Sur, yeah.
Grand Sur, yeah.
Yes. Grand Sur, and now it's called Ex Sur, and it's actually been redone, remodeled, so it's very nice.
Yeah.
There's plenty of wide parking downstairs now in the basement, and 2 floors of it, and there's 3 or 4 disabled spots on each floor. There's a big washing place for your car, and when you come in now, there's the supermarket's been extended, and you get to it from the other end now. It used to be the entrance used to be somewhere else, I think, and so it's quite a nice little shopping centre. And they've got
still Mercadona?
It is still Mercadona, yes.
Okay.
And they've got a new restaurant up there that I've not seen before called the Meat Boutique. Now, the Meat Boutique supplies all the venture restaurants. So if you're eating in the Empire or in any of the Char or whereas any of the venture restaurants on the island, then Meat Boutique supplies the meat. And now they've got a butcher shop with a cafe going out to the terrace at the back. So that's a nice, beautiful place to go. And next to Mr. Miyagi's, which is an Asian Oriental. It's not just Japanese, but Asian Oriental thing. And you got Cafe Nonna, Grandma's Cafe.
Yeah.
Italian
and the
coffees.
Venezuelan place I love very, very much.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
Exactly.
The arepas are fantastic. So Maria, if you're watching, then the next time you are out here, I'm definitely going to take you there.
Yeah, we'll go there.
Yeah.
And what else did we do? So that's where we went shopping yesterday. I went for a blood test this morning. They did it in the back of my hand because they couldn't find any veins in my arms. And that's about it, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I've got a new... I've been testing out my new format for the out and about walk around interviewing people. That's come on pretty good, actually. People are liking that format.
Good.
And it stops me drinking as well.
And you're out and about catching them all, eh? Cheers.
Yeah, I'm what they call Pokemons.
Pokemons. Exactly. You're poking them.
I'm
you
poking.
Pokemon. You little Pikachu.
Oh, and thank you for the invitation onto Balcony Banter this evening.
Oh,
thank you.
Thank you for coming again and again and again. Without you, it wouldn't be possible.
Marialti's changed the name now to Marialti.
Marialti has changed. Oh, Marialti, yeah. So we got some
And
more people coming on. 32 watching right now.
Cool.
David Longdon is on as well. Ellie Bennett. Hi, Ellie. Morialty. And who else? Moira Fitzsimmons. And who else? Yeah, I think that's all the new ones.
there's a question.
Remodeling.
There's a question for me. Hang on. There's a question for me from Neil Davidson. Can you ask Tim, did he get to meet the Shandy Pants?
A shandy pants.
Well, I was interviewing some guys, and they were like in their, they must have been in the 60s or even 70s, I think, and they were on a stag night, so it must have been somebody's stag night. And they said, I said, who's getting married? Oh, it's not one of us. He says, it's Shandy Pants. He's coming along later. So I said, I'm going to have to ask everybody, hey, are you Shandy Pants? And I never got to meet him. Sorry, Neil, I never got to meet him.
Good. So, what's the topic of today? We have a special guest. Special guest because we all already, most of you already know her, Lorrie MacGilvray. So I'm going to put you on screen. Welcome, Lorrie.
Thank you, Juliane. Thank you for inviting me again. It's always fun to be on here and always learn something new when I'm on here.
Thank you for coming again to join us. It's always a pleasure having you on. And yes, it's always a great learning, lifelong learning, as we always say, right?
Learn and grow every time.
How have you been all these months?
Great. Fantastic. You know, we just had 4th of July here.
Yes.
And it was lovely. Lots of beautiful firework. Had a family gathering. It was first time the entire family's been. Our daughter that lives here. We have a daughter in Ireland and a daughter that lives here, and 4 grandsons, and must be 5 great grandchildren here. And in Ireland we have 3 grandchildren. So
can you believe it?
Split between the two countries. And the one here, we had all the family together. It was really lovely, really lovely. Nice dinner together.
Great.
It was great.
Yes. Fantastic. And now you're back on here with us. And we have today, you and I, we have prepared actually this topic together. It came out of our last meeting, sort of. We were talking about something, and this topic came up. Myriad of layers of identity, and I even have a little picture for that, to be honest.
Very good.
So I'm just trying to put that up.
That's
okay,
it.
So yeah, that topic came up because we also last year, in the beginning of last year, we did a course together, Path to Moral Leadership, by the company Acumen, and that in that book, the authoress, she talked about, Jacqueline Novogratz is the authoress, and she was talking about a myriad of layers of identity. So, Lorrie, would you like to, wait, I'm just trying to get us back on here. Look, I got my Faulty Towers moments already. Now, how do I get this back on? Okay.
Well, while you have the picture up and you're working on that, Myriad, of course, means 10,000 or countless or a large number. And we are each made up of a myriad, 10,000 layers of identities. And it's through understanding that deeper that we understand ourselves and we understand others better. And that's, Juliane and I took this amazing course together, the Manifesto for Moral Leadership, Path for Moral Leadership, by Jacqueline Novogratz. She was the one that was the course mentor, if you want to call it. And one of the pieces of it, it's 12 different parts to the course that all interlink. This is just one little piece of that interlinking of who we are and, you know, how to be a better leader in all parts of your life. And it's through understanding yourself better than that you can help others in a better way. So today is about our myriad of layers of identities, our individual, uniquely you.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yeah, and there are so many, as you said, different layers that sometimes we're not even aware of that we have them. Yes, there is a little interactive thing that we would like to actually include you as the audience, and we would like to have you participating as well in the chat. And we encourage you to put your comments in, and whether you're watching this now live or later on catch up, you can still put your comments in the comment section, and we will be happy to look over them and of course reply.
I'll be waiting.
Yes.
1 second.
One layer is gone, but not for long. She will be back, the same as Tim, because Tim is taking care of another layer in the kitchen, I think. Isn't he? Probably so, huh? Ian.
No. Yep.
Ian, a layer of identity. Oh, there he is. He's back.
He's back.
A layer. What were you thinking today when you saw that topic?
Yeah, I went, oh God, oh what do we talk about here? I think I misread this slightly. I was looking at it from the point of a personal identity.
Yeah.
Right. Looking at it from my point, that's what I said there. Your identity is a unique set of characters that can be used to identify a person as themselves and no one else. So these sort of characters that I spoke about there, they're your characters. It may be the way that you look, it may be the way that you think, it may be the way that you sort of go about your business on that. I would say on a personal level, identity often refers to a person's sense of meaning, how they view themselves as compared probably to other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I read into when I saw the topic coming up.
Yeah.
And identity, the basic identity, a personal basic identity, is your name. That's part of your identity, isn't it?
Good one, huh?
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Very good one.
That's yours. Who are you? Another one is the way you think about yourselves.
Yeah.
The way that you're viewed probably by the world. That's on a personal level.
Yeah. Very good. So you already helped a little bit out, huh? And
thank you, Ian. Apologies. Apologies. Yeah. I moved my computer just before we started, and I didn't realize the plug wasn't plugged back in. Sorry.
But now we're all back.
We're back.
All back on stage.
This is live, right?
Yeah. It's live.
It's live.
Yeah.
That's the thing about it.
Yeah. As I said, that was on a personal level. You can also think of identity, say, on a company level. How does a company put out its identity to the rest of the world? They have to show maybe their marketing skills, sort of things like that. I mean, this you could actually go on and on and on. And
That's
add
why
to it.
it's so many different layers, isn't it?
Myriad.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
you-
myriad of layers of identities. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. So
Basically, the place we're going to go with it today is identities as, if you want to think of labels, like as Ian, you were talking, and our paradigms. It's how we see and think of ourselves. It's things that are foisted upon us. It's cemented negative, or it's positive experiences that create these. And it's from the time we're very, very tiny. To give you an example, blue eyes, that would be part of my identity. Mine are brown. Ian, you're a man. That would be part of your identities. Tim, you're a son. That would be part of your identity. And
I am the sun.
the sun. That's
The
right.
sun.
The shining
behind me.
sun. The shining sun. And Christine, you're a daughter. And that would be part of your identities. It's what happens. The place we're going to go today is how we're all connected. And it's learning more about ourselves that we can understand others better as well, and to connect with people in our identity. What happens is when one of our identities are threatened, that's when they pop to the absolute top and we go, "Wah!" It just, when someone says a woman can't do this or a woman can't do that, that sends my woman identity to the top and threatens it, because women can do whatever they set their mind to, anything. So that's just an example of how our identities work, and it works every piece of our myriad of layers of identities.
Yeah.
So Juliane, how long did you want to give for this? Did you want to give the 30 seconds we talked about? Did you want to go 1 minute?
We can do 1 minute.
We have time for 1 minute?
Yeah, we've got time
Okay.
to do that.
So what I'd like you to do is take out a piece of paper and an ink pen, if you don't have one handy already, because Juliane told you we would be doing an exercise. This is a writing exercise, which is really important to unearth some of the things that we may not have been thinking about before. So to give you an example, I'm a global businesswoman. That's one of my identities. I'm a wife, a great grandmother. I consider myself a global citizen, even though I was born in America, born just outside of Detroit, Michigan. Detroit is part of my identity, but I don't see myself that way. I've lived in the UK, so that's part of my identity now. I lived in Spain. That's part of my identity now. And I see myself more as a global citizen. I'm a lifelong learner. I'm Cherokee Indian and I'm Scottish. Those are two parts of my identity that came from my family. Global Innovation recipient, award recipient, teacher, a mentor. Juliane, you have a couple you want to add in?
Yes, I definitely agree with global citizen. That one sounds very, very good. Yeah, German identity I cannot really deny, and yes, I'm happy to be that. It hasn't always been that way, but that is one identity I have. Then of course the way you are, I would consider myself as curious. Then I would say that I am ambivert, so not
Yes.
neither extrovert, neither introvert. It's a combination of both. That is
Absolutely.
really also what I would say is one of my identities.
So that got us started a bit down the road. So you have an idea of where to go with all of it.
Yeah.
So shall I set a timer here? We're going to take 1 minute. Let me get the timer up. We're going to take 1 minute, and we're not going to deep think this. We're going to just write as it's coming. What do you consider your identities? You heard a few of mine, you heard a few of Juliane, you heard a few others that we gave you. What are your identities? So let's get the timer going for 1 minute. And go. Just start writing whatever identities are coming to you that make up who you are.
Exactly. And you can also, if you wish, you can write them down in the comment section, so
Yes,
we can
please.
put them on screen. That would be lovely jubbly. So
don't worry about doing that. Don't worry about doing that right now. Just get yours down for the moment, because we're going to do a little bit more with it too.
Yeah, I'm sure you can come up with a lot of them, and all of us can think about some as well. Maybe some new ones pop up, some thoughts we haven't even considered yet. And by hearing others, of course, we dive deeper and deeper and find things that connect.
Can you hear that? Time's up. Time's up.
Time flies when you're having fun.
So this is normally a 3-minute exercise that you do yourself. This is all about you. This isn't about anyone else. This is all about you. And it's normally a 3-minute exercise, but we wanted to keep it contained to 1 minute because we have a lot of additional information to share and talk through. And we want to get your feedback as well through it. So in the chat, if you will write, what was the first identity that you listed? And why do you think you listed it first? Anyone that wants to add? Maybe Tim or somebody can pay attention and just share a few as they're coming in. Ian, do you want to share with us what was the first identity that you listed, and why do you think you listed it first?
I was born in Dundee, and I was an apprentice electrician.
Oh. Tim, what did you have?
Well, I don't identify with identities, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
So I didn't write anything down because I am not a label. I'm a referent.
Okay.
And that basically for me, identity is not for me. It's what other people try to put on me. But I don't identify as anything.
Okay, that's fine. That's absolutely okay. So what do we have in the comments?
We have
Venezuelan and Canarian.
Yes. So Maria, Venezuelan and Canarian by heart. Yes. So you can see countries play a role as well. The heritage where you're from. Yes.
Absolutely.
And we have another one here. Marie Alti says, I'm Sen Grounder, was born in Southport. I'm a mother and a wife. There you go. That's beautiful.
Very good, Marie. Very good.
And okay, let's see. It's Craig says, my name, where I live, who I am.
Very good. Thank you, Craig.
Oh, okay. And David says, father was first.
Very good, David. Very good.
Thank you.
So I want to ask you now, let's take another Do we want another minute or 30 seconds, Juliane?
Well, we can do another 30
1 minute?
seconds. Or
30
1
seconds?
minute, yeah, fine.
Okay, so we're going to take another 1 minute. And based on some of the things that you've heard us talking about, we're going to continue adding our next layers of identities that are coming to mind now that we have another 1 minute to do it. So ready, set, start.
Keep on writing and peel off. Yeah, peeling off labels. I like doing that. I always do that with the wine bottle when I'm on balcony Banter, on Tim's balcony. Exactly. Then I peel off the governor.
Don't worry, you won't be peeled tonight, darling.
You won't be peeled tonight.
There's Arlie Bennett, daughter, partner, gardener. Thank you, Arlie.
Thank you.
I don't want to be a stick in the mud, by the way, but I've always realized that you're limiting yourself if you label something. And one of the reasons that I don't label myself is especially what you first said, Lorrie, was that you're a global citizen, right? Mm-hmm. And then I think a lot of problems in the world is that people think that country boundaries actually mean something, instead of it just being a place where somebody stops having power, you know? Well, so to be proud of being British or proud of being Welsh or proud of being Scottish is a total irrelevance, because you didn't do anything to be that apart from have your mother spit you out practically. So it's for me, those labels were more a hindrance to humanity than a benefit. So and then you see now the gender politics and the label politics and identifying as politics that are coming up. It's harming humanity more than it's helping. People are getting confused, and people are utilizing things like this to create or get around problems, real problems that they have. And so you identifying as something, or what is your identity? A myriad of identities is a luxury only humans can have.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So back in 1996, one of the reasons that this topic came around and is being talked about and taught is to understand ourselves better and what our deep thinking is, what our subconscious thinking is, and why we behave in the ways that we behave. They're there. These identities are there. But if you're able to understand them in the way that you do, in the way that we're talking about, in the way that we've worked to understand ourselves, in the name of identity, violence, and the need to belong. This is Aman Malouf. He's Lebanese French writer. Mm-hmm. This is the basis of Jacqueline, who's worked around the world in some of the most difficult countries in the world, and trying to understand in the leadership form, how do you help people who have these identity issues, who they are so clung to these identities that have been foisted on them, or who they're part of it makes us who we are. I can't deny that my father was part Scottish. I was born in Detroit. I'm an American, and I get blasted wherever I go a lot because they hear the American voice and tell me off. I can't help that, but I have to understand what you said, that there are other people that their identity is based on where they're from. And they look at me and they see me as my identity is American. because of my accent. And I have to understand that in order to be able to be a better leader, to be able to help others understand the world better. So that's the whole reason for discussing it in the terms of identity, because
Okay.
that is how most everyone sees themselves, and to understand others. So the Aman Malouf goes into great detail about how this identity, in the name of identity, violence and the need to belong, how all of that ties together, and a lot with what you were talking about, a lot with the country you're from, the religion you have, the political view you hold. He was from Lebanon and moved to France as a young boy, and had these struggles of why he was feeling certain things in France that were sort of tying him back to Lebanon. So it's the unconscious, subconscious things that are going on in us that talk to the identities that are there, whether you know they're there or whether you, and I appreciate you so much, Tim, that you have this point, that you have that great of understanding about it. And that's what this is all about, is helping others to get to that point.
Yeah.
And the importance of understanding it. So
I think part of it is not belonging to any one particular group. I mean, I don't identify as being an Englishman because I'm not a typical Englishman. I don't identify as if somebody says, where you're from, like, when do you mean? Like last week or
I'm from
50 years
wherever
ago?
I'm at today, wherever I'm standing right now. Right.
Yeah. And what's the point, I used to tell people it depends whether you're racist or nationalist, because if you want to know my race, I'm a white Caucasian. If you want to know my nationality, I'm British.
And those are both labels, what you mentioned.
Exactly.
Those are both
And so,
labels.
yeah, but one of them's a nationalist label and one of them's a
and this
racist
is-
label.
Right, and this is the whole point, that when you're hitting any one of these labels unconscious, I mean, they can be deep down in there, not thinking anything about it, and a topic comes up, and it just lifts it right to the very top, that it was threatened. That identity.
Actually, that's happened to me. That has happened to me.
Has it? What's happened?
Yes, it has. What happened was I was I went to get my teeth fixed, and I went to this dentist, and I went in, and it was I was having an implant.
Yes.
And I wanted to pay with a particular cash card where I got a benefit of 10% discount.
Right.
And it was a lot of money. It was nearly 4,000 euros. And so I wanted to pay with this cash card. So I said, about 2 days before I was supposed to pay, the card got cancelled because it was compromised somewhere online. It wasn't actually, but I said, hey, I just got a message asking me, do I want to buy this Lamborghini or whatever it was? And they said, oh, we'll cancel your card then. I will send you a new one, they said. I said, fine. So they said, we'll send you a new one. What I didn't realize is they immediately canceled the old one, so I couldn't pay with this cash card. And it wasn't a credit card. It was a card that you put cash on.
Right.
And so when I went to the dentist, I said, look, the card that I want to use has been cancelled, but I got the new number. So if you can take an online payment, I can pay. It's not a problem. But it would be a problem because I have to transfer the 4,000 euros to the card and then pay you with it. And if you don't take online, I won't transfer the money. No, it's fine, she said. So I transferred the money there and then on the phone to this card. And I said, right, now where's your online payment? And she said, well, I've just got to type the number in onto the machine. I said, no, that won't work. You have to have an online payment system for this to work. It doesn't work on a machine. Oh, then I didn't understand. Then you got to pay with something else. I said, it's too late now. So she says, oh, I'm going to have to call my boss. And she went into the back and she's on the phone and she said, I have an Englishman here who doesn't want to pay in Spanish, right? And then I says, why is it important? First of all, I do want to pay, but you had the mistake. And secondly, why is it important that I'm an Englishman?
Yes.
You know, in
Yes,
the whole,
there you go.
I
There
could
you
be
go.
anybody, right?
Yeah.
So therefore, I was given
Exactly.
a label
Yes.
that I don't identify with.
But it threatened you. It threatened that identity by saying that.
Yeah.
It did, but it wasn't my identity that they were threatening.
Right.
They made
exactly.
the identity up because I don't
Exactly.
identify as that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but this is exactly what I'm talking about, because it riled you. That riled you when she said what
No,
she said.
it didn't rile me that it was an identity. It riled me that she used an identity, or she foisted an identity upon me.
There you go.
And
That's it.
made a judgment call at the same time in the same
Exactly.
sentence.
Exactly.
And as long as you're training people to stamp that out, then I'm all for looking at identities. But
that's exactly where we're going. That's exactly
okay.
what this is about.
Then did I get to the end before I should have?
Very
No,
good.
It was
Very
great.
good.
It was a perfect example. Absolutely perfect example.
Okay, I'm going to shut up now.
So we've had a lot of really great input to clarify post-nationalist European Irish.
Well, David said before he's in the second round we did.
Oh, I see.
When we went further on, he said granddad, partner, retired Irish accountant, company secretary, European working class background. And then he clarified by saying, to clarify, post-nationalist European Irish.
Okay.
And Anne-Marie said, and I'm Irish, hardworking, and I like to think I have inherited my mother's kind heart and zest for life. Anne-Marie, I can definitely say that you have a lot of zest for life. You sparkle, my love. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again soon, you and David.
September, yes. I believe, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
So one of the things that Jacqueline talks about, our mentor, I've carried on with Jacqueline in quite a few of her courses and mentoring, holding our multiple identities and recognizing that all people carry a myriad of identities within themselves is a crucial step toward navigating difference in an interdependent world, which is exactly what you were talking about, Tim. That goes straight to what you were saying. And it's just understanding that, I mean, we can see all the identities that are making up the people that are here with us today. So let me put this out. What identity did you hear in common or similar? Because this is where Juliane and I like to stay. We like to stay in the finding we are more alike than we are different. But you have to be in that mindset of looking for that in someone else. So what identity have you heard? If you want to add into the comments, what identity did you hear someone else share that is in common or similar to yours? Ian, did you hear anything?
Nothing that jumps out. Nothing that jumps out and sort of you could actually focus. I could actually focus myself on.
Well, do you want to share something else of what you see?
Not really. A question I would like to ask. This is maybe getting a wee bit off the beaten track. Identity. How you develop it in stages through your life. Am I right in saying that?
Yes. 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 Absolutely. You evolve as a person.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to reach. I mean, I'm trying to reach an identity. Say at my age, how I have a different identity now than what I did when I was
Exactly.
born and younger, right?
What would you say is the difference now
Right.
and when you were younger?
Yeah,
Because he's a YouTuber now. That's what it is.
There
He
you
didn't
go.
have
That's
YouTube when he
it.
was.
voice from a
There you
voice
go.
from a distance. Yeah,
Make sure
right?
to put that on your list, YouTuber.
A YouTuber. Yeah, put that down my list.
YouTube
No,
star.
Yeah,
Executive producer.
I've actually, Julie, I've actually written that down as.
There you go. There you go.
It's right on the bottom of the list.
I
Actually.
didn't expect anything else.
There you go. Now,
It's
did you
right
have
on the
that?
bottom of the list. Now, I'll let you see. There it is. I'm not kidding.
There you go.
No, seriously, folks. You have an identity when you're at school and college.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
You're a student.
You're
Yeah.
a student, yeah. You leave the school or college or whatever, and you go into training in your
Yes.
work.
Yes.
So you form a new identity.
Yes. It's an addition. Yes.
It's an
Absolutely.
addition. Yeah.
Yes.
I would
Even-
like, yeah. Carry on.
Even in your workplace, your working environment, as you work through the years, you'll change your identity. Remember, this is one that always sticks with me actually, is take heed of your life values, such as your health, your responsibility, your trust, and your honesty. That is all identity that you can
Yes.
you can relate to
Yeah.
yourself.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And I would like
Absolutely.
to add something as well.
Yes, go on.
And because we have this wonderful question by Maria, are there two types of identity? Nationality and what makes you happy as an individual. I mean,
Yes.
there are
Yes.
millions and thousands of layers, and so there's not only two types of identity, but
There's a
what
myriad. Myriad.
strikes me actually in this question is, Maria, you are mentioning what makes you happy as an individual. And when we talk about feeling happy and fulfilled, that sense of belonging is
it.
much more much more predominant, I guess, in
Yes.
when we are younger. We feel the urge much stronger to belong to somewhere, and it really makes such a big difference to find out where do we belong, and who do we belong to, and who am I. We're still trying to find out so many things and answer so many questions about ourselves, about finding our own happy spot in life. And then over the years, I find you get much more relaxed, and you find that you can actually be happy with your own self. So that Tim was saying that he tries not to think in labels and identities. This is something I feel comes with time and with age.
So I'm just an old fogey. That's my latest label, is it? Tim's label is an old fogey now.
Tim,
It's
you are like
matured. You have matured.
You are like the wine that gets better and better with each year.
You can come back. You can come back to balcony.
So because you like the governor so much, you are more governing your own self, your own belonging, and your own sense of happiness. So that's what I wanted to say, and that oftentimes if we have those labels or those identities that we all have, and that we can't deny that we have them, but if we make them too predominant, that is underlying ego. Underlying ego that gives us in the end too much pain, because when it is hurt or threatened or foisted upon, then it can hurt, but in the end, it's understanding that it's just ego that is been scratched or is being scratched and hurt. Or
I was wondering why I didn't have. I mean, I've got an ego; it's quite massive, actually. But I was wondering why I didn't have an identity, and I think it's because I've moved a lot. I've moved houses very often, and I've had to integrate into other groups. And integrating into a group is different than belonging to a group.
Mhm.
And it was hard for me to integrate into certain groups that I moved in the circles of. So I found that I would integrate into all groups and all levels. And I think that was the defining factor. So maybe that's an identity I have, that I move
Yeah.
within different groups and different levels within groups
Yeah.
with ease.
Yes.
You are a
It's inter-
shapeshifter. You are a shapeshifter.
I am a shapeshifter.
It's interesting. It's interesting you brought that up, Ian, Tim, because
I'm
that
Ian
was,
now. I'm identifying as
Sorry.
Ian for tonight.
Sorry. Through my young years in, junior high school, it was since then, since I remember, as far as I remember back, very much what you're talking about. I never had a group or a clique that I stayed with. I had people within it that I connected with, and this is part of that, being in harmony with people. There are so many different bits and pieces to us that there might be one person or two people that you connect with, that you're in harmony with in this particular group, or one over here or one over here. And it's interests that you have, different interests that you have in these different things, and connecting to someone that there's something similar that they have. And that's this, what we're talking, we're putting it in terms of identity or labels or paradigms.
Right.
That there's maybe a person in this other group that you have a connection with. There's something that you've learned that you have similar interest in, outside of a particular silo niche piece of it, of the group that you're working with. I've been very similar to that, Tim, in my whole life as well. That
maybe we gravitate to these to these.
And look, we're all together here.
Yeah,
we're all together here. How did we end up together? There was
everything I've ever done in my life has brought me to this
something.
point now with you.
That's right. Exactly.
Everything.
And you who are here with us as well, who've come on to Juliane's YouTube today, who come on Balcony Banter regularly. This is a community. This is a group that you have found connection with, in something inside of you, some part of you that you're connecting to this. There's, again, we are more alike, more similar than we are different. And it's finding those uniquely you connections with others.
I've been thinking lately about timescales and how we as a group of humans, if you like, I'm trying to think on the level of how the human race will survive the next 250 years. And there's things that have to change for us to survive as a human race. And I'm thinking not very seriously about it, but I'm thinking of what tools and advice can I give to my daughter and my granddaughter for them to be able to maybe live in the world of the future. Now, I'm looking at my grandfather and my great-grandfather, and they would never have a clue of what I'm doing right now. So therefore, I am no illusion that I can give them tools that's going to help them in the next 50 to 100 years. But I do think that how to think critically is very important.
Yes.
And identity politics, or identifying as something, or or looking at identities as tangible assets is going to have to go away unless you create an identity that binds everybody together.
Inclusive, yes.
Yeah.
It's all this. It is the inclusiveness of it.
But then it will. It's if you do that, then there is nothing to compare it against, and therefore it goes away.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So unless
and
you
it's
polarize,
being creative, yeah, it's being it's
creativity, yeah,
right, creative, growth minded, and
yeah.
what you said, critical thinking for yourself. Is
or questioning. You don't even have to think for yourself. You just have to question everything.
Yes, absolutely.
Why do you do it like that?
Absolutely, Tim.
I've told the story before about the leg of lamb, but it was I always used to cut the knuckle off, and then we found out. We asked grandmother, and she said, well, because the pot was too small.
Yes, precisely. Paradigms, habits.
Yeah. So let's get out of the habit of asking people, hey, where are you from?
Yes.
Maybe that's bugging me. I don't know. Maybe it
so
does
what's
bug
a better question? That's what we need to talk about, is what is a better question?
When you meet somebody,
yes,
to get them know, what did you do yesterday?
There you go.
That would be a more an interesting question. Or what was the last interesting thing you did?
Yes. When were
you last happy?
Yes. When I would go to networking events when I lived in Wales, in the UK,
they had networking events in Wales?
With really creative questions. Oh, absolutely. I loved the Cardiff University networking events. Innovation.
Oh, South Wales. That's not Wales.
Oh, that was where I lived.
Sorry. I was identifying as a North Walian.
Oh, okay.
Gogledd Cymru, am byth.
I loved Wales. Loved living in Wales. We would drive. Whenever we would drive, I always watched the sheep on the hillsides and the lambs. And I don't know if I shared this before or not, but one time there were little babies on the hillsides, the baby lambs, and they had fluorescent color. They had fluorescent orange and fluorescent green little raincoats on. And I asked this was the question at a business networking event. I would go up to someone and say, can you tell me why the baby sheep have orange raincoats and lime green raincoats on? And people would look at me like, what? I mean, that's not a normal business networking question, right?
Chernobyl? Was it to do with Chernobyl?
It was one of the best questions I think I ever asked. And I just asked until I got the answer. Finally, a young man who grew up on a farm, he said, oh, it's because they have early lambing seasons now. And the babies get so cold in the rain here. It's not warm enough yet. We keep them covered and we keep the raincoats on them. And it keeps them warm in the early lambing season.
Because I had a very similar one where I was looking at sheep in Wales, and they were all fluorescent as well, and I can't remember what color it was. Now it was either orange or green. I can't remember, but they were the ones that were deemed to be affected by the radiation cloud of Chernobyl.
Oh dear! Oh boy! Yeah. Wow!
And you couldn't sell them to the European Union.
No.
Okay. All right. Wow. No, this wasn't to do with
It's like
that.
I can't give. I can't give blood here. Here's an identity politics. I cannot give blood in Spain.
Why?
Because I lived in the UK between 1975 and 1982.
And
there was the bovine spondylitis. They called it mad cow disease.
Okay.
So if you've eaten beef, in the 70s, so the mid to late 70s, if you've eaten beef, you cannot give blood in Spain. And to make sure that you haven't eaten the beef, is they don't allow you to give blood if you were born or lived. And actually, no, not born, but if you lived in the UK between those dates.
So they don't give you a test to see if it's in your blood. They just say, no you can't.
No, blanket ban.
Wow, that's very interesting. Now that's a very interesting identity hoisted. And they're missing out. They're missing out on a whole lot by not doing a blood test.
Well, actually, if they took blood from me, they might as well just plug it into the governor, you know.
Look, Eugene MacGilvray says, "Are you looking for beef?" So,
oh my goodness.
Where's the beef?
So
That's true. If you lived in Britain between mid-70s and early 80s, you can't give blood in Spain.
They're missing out.
Fascinating.
Yes.
And see, that's not something I would have ever thought about, ever.
You only find it out when you try and give blood.
I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I never tried to give blood while I was there, but it wouldn't have affected me. So
That's true. Yeah, but I mean,
Wow.
I'm thinking that, what would you rather have, mad cow disease or an American?
yeah, there you go. Talk to my husband. He used to say no American and no redhead, and he's from the UK. I was redheaded. I was redheaded at the time we met.
I was redheaded as well.
Were you? Wow.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't a ginger. I was sort of strawberry blonde.
Oh, I love that expression, strawberry blonde.
I was a strawberry blonde. Now I'm just a raspberry.
Oh. Well,
I don't want to turn it to the Tim Dowd show. Get me off. Get me off.
hopefully this helped understand a little bit more about yourself and your own personal identities and how we connect in better ways.
Well, I enjoyed myself.
Yes,
Lorrie.
absolutely.
Thank you, Lorrie.
Thank you.
And yes, exactly. Celebrating the differences that we also have.
Absolutely.
Not making them out too much as labels, but celebrating that we are different and being aware and accepting those differences.
It would be so boring. It would be so boring if we were all the same, wouldn't it?
Makes it easier to come together. Exactly. We celebrate that we are.
It's what makes the world so amazing.
Yes.
Diversity.
Diversity, exactly.
Absolutely.
A mishmash.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, do we have any last words of our wrap up of Ian?
Thank you very much, Lorrie. That was very, very interesting. As I said at the beginning, I didn't misunderstood the topic the way I read it. However,
it's okay.
I think I have learned something tonight. I'll finish up by saying it changes with your lifestyle, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Yes.
Identity. It's how you develop yourself during your lifetime.
Yes.
I always stay focused and I'm always positive in my life going forward. I can leave you with a thought that I normally do of being positive. This is from the social side of my positive booklet. It's headed, "Be kind to colleagues." You may not know all your colleagues well, but a positive working environment makes a difference to everyone. Perhaps she's your boss, or he works on a different project to you. No matter who they are, if you see a colleague having a bad day, think of a small way to help their day improve. Perhaps you could surprise them with a cup of tea or coffee, or offer to take a job for them. Find a way to make that never-ending bad day just a little bit better.
Oh, thank you.
That's
well done.
Lovely. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I would really like to thank everyone who came on to tonight, our dear viewers, as every week. And I'm especially happy that you came on over to my channel as well, that you found your way over here. And of course, apart from Ian and Chris and Tim, thank you, Lorrie, for coming on once again. And I hope it's not going to be the last time. I'm very sure it's going to be
Definitely not.
It's
No.
like, oh,
The next-
thank you.
The next time you're in Tenerife, Lorrie, you're welcome on Balcony Banter physically.
Well,
Just
I
bring a
will
bottle
be
of-
there.
Just
Just
bring a
bring your
bottle of the
wine.
governor.
And
Oh, thank you.
and absolutely, there are also all the details, Laurie's channel and her website, Remodel International, is in the description box, so you can take a look.
Oh, thank you,
later on.
Juliane.
All
Thank you.
right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all very much, and we see you next week. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye, everybody.
Ciao. Ciao. Ciao.